Good morning and welcome to today's pre-market video. Now in today's pre-market video we're going to take a look at the news which is affecting the Indian market today. Plus I'm going to take a look at the Nifty Expiry. I'm going to take a look at the Nifty Expiry in terms of what option buyers should do and in terms of what option sellers should do. This is, as I always say, both have a completely different playbook generally, but on an expiry day that different playbook comes of more importance due to the elements which are at factor. Now before I dwell into today's video, I hope all who are watching today's video watched yesterday's video. This is as in yesterday's video I had covered Maruti Suzuki and Reliance Industries. Now Maruti Suzuki went and formed the top as I had said. But now both stocks I had covered in terms of what can be done in them for the coming sessions. So I believe anyone who watches that will get a great help in how to handle those stocks as an equity trader or a F&O trader. So if you're interested in both stocks, then do watch that video after finishing this. Now coming to the news front, on the international news front, there's really only one news. It's about the Federal Reserve Chair. This is the Federal Reserve Chair, Powell, has been addressing the Senate Banking Committee, and he said basically the same thing again, that reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. And he also emphasized that positive economic data would reinforce confidence in inflation trajectory towards the 2% target. So again, the numbers which are coming out this week for the American market on Thursday and Friday, so those are going to be very important as how the Federal Reserve Chair acts will also affect how our RBI acts in August when is the next meeting for the Reserve Bank of India. Now on the local news front, most news is stock specific, so I'm not going to cover that. The only news which is general which I saw is the Reserve Bank of India has warned banks about a serious issue that they have been doing. This is banks have been opening a large number of unnecessary internal accounts and using them for fraudulent purposes, such as hiding bad loans. This is a big risk because it undermines the integrity of the banking system. So the RBI is demanding that the banks clean up these accounts and also tighten controls to prevent misuse. Now I believe this news, when I look at it, most of the financial websites have gone and put it on the end. They're not giving much importance to it, but I believe this is a very important news, as if this is happening in the banking sector in a big way, then it is a problem that the RBI needs to resolve, as it can cause a lot of issues down the road for the Indian banking sector and the soundness of the Indian banks. Now coming to the Nifty Index. Now the Nifty Index, I'm going to first explain how I've been trading it personally with clients, and then what I expect this expiry. Now when we pop on the levels for the index, now this week me and clients held CE cells. Yesterday we cashed out of our BANKNIFTY CE cells for the expiry, and they made a very good profit because the BANKNIFTY fell. The Nifty CE cells, we cashed out of half of them yesterday and took the profits, and the other half were there with the profit stop. Now how will I trade the Nifty going ahead in today's expiry? Now in today's expiry, I'm going to look at two things. As an option buyer, I'm going to look at how we handle 24-220 and how we handle 24-400. While as an option seller, I'm going to look at how we handle 24-480 and how we handle 24-220 plus 24-100. So as an option seller, I'm taking a wider look, and an option buyer, I'm taking a narrower look in the whole picture. Now why I say that is if we look at the levels, now the levels which I draw for the Nifty and BANKNIFTY, since they are bread and butter, they usually update it very often, every 1 to 2 days. However, the 24-20 support level and 24-400 resistance level and 24-480, these we have been using for quite some time because we have been in a range. Otherwise the levels would be updated every night, but this, because of the fact we're just stuck in a range, we have had to use them for longer. So now how do I trade? I move my head as I want to explain in a more logical manner. Now, according to me, if anyone is an option buyer and between 24-400 and 24-220, do not expect much of a clean trend. This is a place where we're just going to get V-shaped moves, as we have been getting from here. If we look at it, we've just been going range bound, range bound, range bound, range bound, and before we were going range bound here. So now I expect this zone to continue doing what it's doing as an option buyer. So as an option buyer, we are trading within this zone until, let's say, 12 p.m. You can go in the you can trade option buys with the options expiring today. However, after 12 p.m. I would advise you go to options expiring next week, for this phase, this part basically, because the decay will completely eat you up and take away anything you're going to make. Now, as an option buyer, when will I go heavily long? Now, I will only go long, number one, if you break 24,400. But if we break 24,400, since this is the 15-minute chart, I would like to see this indicator, which I'm highlighting. I would like to see the black line come back above 0, as that will signify that yes, we may go above 24,480 to 24,560. However, on the upside, I believe the Nifty will be lifted to restricted to this resistance and maximum this resistance as of now. I don't expect a move past this unless some very big positive news was to come out. I don't expect a move to go past this on the upside. Now on the downside, 24,220 has held as a support for very long. So I personally do not hold any put sells, as we had only sold calls for this expiry, and so I will focus more naturally today on also call selling. But on the put selling side, 24,220 has really shown its mantle. So 24,200 and below, we can say, has shown how well it can do. So there's going to be a lot of put sellers below 24,200, and if we go and test this zone and hover around it a bit, there is a chance of those put sellers panicking and letting us fall to 24,100 and 24,020. So on the downside, how will I trade? I will only trade in a big way on the downside. If we break 24,220, then I will first go for a target of 24,100, and this is another very important support. If that breaks, 24,020, I agree, is a good support, but I believe that will go through and will go until 23,940. So upside, again, option buyer. Today, basically, it's going to be a bit longer on one index. Upside, if you break 24,480, then I build 24,400. I believe the upside will be limited to 24,480 or 24,560. But upside will all depend on how this indicator forms. On the downside, 24,220 is a very strong support, but by chance we hover around this area, then it might cause panic in some put sellers, and if you break that, then I expect a very quick fall to 24,100, and that is also a very important support. 24,100 breaks, 23,940 is my next target. 24,020 can be a tiny stopover, as I believe this breaking together will take us until 23,940. So that's how on the option buying side. Now on the option selling side, how I'm looking at it, provided I see that we are not able to break 24,400 in a big way. Let's say if we go up and we're just forming, let's say we are seeing a lot of wicks forming at this point, then apart from the already call sells which I have, which are in a good profit, so there will be the profit stop, I will enter fresh call sells, most likely if I want to play it risky above 24,400, if I want to play it safe above 24,480, so basically 24,500 and above. This is any up move even towards this, simply because of the pressure which has been there, that up move will most likely get killed and the options will decay to zero. So on the option sell side, I will focus more again on call sells of 24,400 and above. If I'm playing risky, 24,500 and above, if I'm playing less risky. On the put sell side, unless we continue to hold, let's say the 24,300 mark until let's say 2 p.m. and this basically line has come above, that is only when I'll go and start selling puts below 24,200. This is, I believe, put sells carry more risk tomorrow than call sells. This is why even with my clients and me, I've only entered call sells this week, as they're going to work out more, and they have worked out for us, and I'm keeping a profit stop on all of them due to that. So that's my analysis for Nifty, the Nifty expiry. Option buyers and option sellers is a completely different game. Option sellers, I believe, have an easier trading session due to the range we are stuck in. Option buyers have to be a bit more nimble because due to the range, the decay is going to be very hurtful. So it's something they have to watch. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.